And then Jacob wants to use the argument of bringing up evidence as to why Naomi should have a baby because she's a lawyer. And I just wish that Jacob would find more evidence in his cases. Hello, hello, fellow Beyond the Gates viewers. Here to talk about today's Friday episode of Beyond the Gates, October 10th, 2025. Another solid episode carried by Bill and Hayley and Dani and Andre. Definitely the story I have been enjoying quite a lot the past few weeks. It's been carrying the show for me. And right now, I am truly enjoying Bill spiraling over Dani and Andre's marriage. It's been a long time coming that the tables turn on Bill and we see Bill become the one obsessed with Dani. And the more and more Bill's gonna spiral, the more and more Hayley's gonna spiral, and I love that for us too. I've been waiting for Hayley's spiral for a long time, wanting them to build her character to be more than just the weak little homewrecker that she's been the whole time. In today's episode, Hayley was still giving Bill the cold shoulder, and he had to ask what was up. She confronted him about him lying to her in yesterday's episode, asking him where he was meeting or where he went, because he wasn't meeting with a client like he said he was. Bill says that he wasn't with Dani to try and calm Hayley's insecurities, but Hayley says she knows that because she did go to Dani's yesterday looking for him in a huff. So Hayley wants to know where he was. He tries to turn it around on her, saying he doesn't owe her an explanation and he's not going to be giving her his passwords or anything. And she says it's ridiculous that he's demanding her trust when she caught him in a lie. So this marriage is definitely on the rocks, where Hayley's insecurities are reaching new highs, even though they've been there the whole time. And Bill's now trying to turn tables on her, even though he is the one in the wrong. He is the one lying and being obsessed with Dani again. I did enjoy when she questioned him if he was lying because he went to go get some prescription medicine for his erectile dysfunction. Bill was not enjoying that line from her. That is another problem going on in their marriage now. Their sex life seems to be taking the downturn too, which is bad for them because that's what their entire marriage was built on. Apparently, Hayley has found out that he has a PI investigating Andre, saying that she can use the same one to follow him around. They talk about Bill's obsession with Dani, and he then lays it on the line that if they're going to stay married, she will have to accept that Dani is always going to be a part of his life. Hayley, of course, is not going to love to hear that. On the flip side of things, Dani met with her friend Pamela for the first time in a while. It's hard for the character of Pamela to catch on because the actress Katie McLean can't. She doesn't live in Atlanta where this is filmed, so they only get her once in a while. But we still played up their friendship today, talking about. It was good to see Dani have someone to confide in that Bill and her kissed. Dani even said that if she learned that Bill was going to react like this, she would have cheated on him years ago because it could have probably saved their marriage, which is an odd way to put it, but it's true. It plays into the toxicity of Bill and Dani's relationship there. Dani also told Pamela that Hayley is aware of exactly what is happening and says that she doesn't want Bill and that she's found someone great in Andre. Now, we still know that Dani is having her own obsession about Bill too. But I like that they are trying to make Dani and Andre's relationship more meaningful than what it started as. And I think they're doing a good job of that. I know my guy Devin in the comments, who is watching for the first time lately over the past few weeks, I think his first time watching soap operas. So shout out to Devin. Glad he's enjoying the show. He sees Dani and Andre as like the biggest baby faces in wrestling terms. And right now they are probably the more rootable characters on the show with the way everything else is going. Now, when Dani sees Bill arrive, Dani plays her games and makes sure that Bill sees her and Andre leave together, rubbing it in Bill's face. This is also a throwback to me from the beginning of the show when Bill was always throwing Hayley in Dani's face. Now, Dani gets to throw her younger husband in Bill's face, and Bill is just not a happy camper. And it's been great to see. And then Bill has the audacity to confront Pamela, asking Pamela what she's going to do about the Andre situation. Pamela likes that Dani has her groove back and asks Bill if he would rather have Dani pining after him for the rest of her life. And then Pamela had the best line of the episode, telling Bill that she couldn't get Dani to dump her first husband, and that guy was the worst. So how is he expecting her to get her to dump Andre? So I liked that shot at Bill too. So a good episode for watching Bill spiral, if anyone's been waiting for that. And I have. As much as I like the Bill character, probably my favorite male character on the show still, even after all this. But he deserves the spiral that he's having with this situation. We'll get back to Hayley if I remember. Dani and Andre later talk at the end of the episode. Dani is thinking Andre deserves better if he's really thinking about his future and sees this as a waste of time. He needs to let her know. Andre doesn't see Dani as a waste of time, he says, but she wants him to take a big step back and think about the future he really wants, and if it's Dani or not. And judging by next week's preview, that will be one of the stories to watch out for. Does Andre really want to stay with Dani? Earlier in the episode, Jacob confronted him a little bit because, Jacob and Derek are friends, and Andre asked Jacob about Ashley. So Jacob had a comment at Andre saying that his lane seems to be women on the rebound, saying that that's who Andre has been into so far. Dani and Ashley, two people that were on the rebound, going through breakups or divorces at one point this year. So Jacob taking a shot at Andre. I wish Jacob would just worry about his job and actually, be better at that than harass Andre, even though, unfortunately, Andre probably is still pining after Ashley and hoping something happens to cause Ashley and Derek to not get married. But I don't know if Jacob was the best spokesperson for that. Jacob then goes home to Naomi to discuss her pregnancy. Still don't like that they're doing the story with Naomi and Jacob. Naomi's still not into the pregnancy. Jacob's still trying to convince her that she should have the kid, even though he's kind of being selfish because he's the one that really wants the kid, and she wants to continue to focus on her career, even though she hasn't been focusing on her career lately. And then Jacob wants to use the argument of bringing up evidence as to why Naomi should have a baby because she's a lawyer. And I just wish that Jacob would find more evidence in his cases instead of bringing up evidence as to why he and Naomi should have a baby. And one of the evidence is, oh, how cute the baby would be. I mean, what the most selfish reason to have a child. Anyway, also in today's episode, I'm still annoyed with the way they're writing Eva. For me, it's been that Eva started as like one of my favorite characters. And the last couple months, they have just decided to write for her so piss poorly that I can't even enjoy her as a character. And it hasn't even been a year on this soap opera. So that is a huge testament of bad writing to me personally. In today's episode, she is trying to get Mona and Ashley's mom, whose name I keep forgetting, I think it's Jan, to become friends with her mom again, because maybe Leslie will listen to them since she doesn't listen to her. Eva thinks that if Leslie had real friends, they might, and if they forgive her and become her friends again, then maybe she will stop trying to win the Dupree acceptance. Now, we all know Mona is a simp for the Duprees, so she wasn't going to make any treadway with Mona. But she did seem to get through to Jan, and Jan later wanted to have that conversation with Leslie, talk about forgiving Leslie. Apparently, Jan could get over attempted murder since it's the big suspicion that Leslie tried to run Laura off the road and hurt her so Eva could get that job way back when. But Apparently that's okay with Jen. Leslie did get emotional in their scenes. You never know with Leslie if it's real, if it's her doing emotional manipulation. But it was well acted. So maybe Leslie has been lonely lately and really did need a friend. So she has a friend again. Do I think that's going to help Leslie evolve as a person? I'll believe it when I see it. My main problem with this is the irony to me with Eva wanting her mom to have a friend so badly is Eva needs a friend of her own that's a woman. Because her only friend has been Tomas, who she just wanted to fuck anyway, and that didn't work out now, did it? So why can't we give Eva a friend of her own? I've said this months ago. After the whole debacle came out where Eva and Leslie were being shunned by the Duprees because they put it out there that Ted had that affair with Leslie 2 decades ago, Hayley and Eva should have became friends way back then because both of them truly need a friend on this show. They are two characters that need a friend, and I think it would help the characters evolve from what they have become lately. But apparently only Leslie needs friends, not Eva. Eva can't have a friend her own age. That's a woman, I guess. The show has too many people related, which is a soap opera problem. But soap operas of the past were very good at having friendships. In this show, we just have Jacob and Derek and Ashley and Naomi. That's like the only friends on the show that aren't related. They got to do better with friendships on the show. It's another problem I have with the writing, I must say. And then Leslie, she goes to Tomas today to confront him about what happened between Tomas and Eva. Tomas is saying, he wasn't proud of his behavior with Eva. Says he apologized to Eva. Leslie continues to try and make the comparison between Tomas and Ted, saying that the safe choice didn't work out for Ted and it's not going to work out for Tomas if he chooses Kat. I don't give a shit about this Eva, Kat, Tomas triangle. The triangles on this show have been a struggle to get through. This is another one. It's still not working for me. I would have enjoyed these scenes more if Leslie really did just eat Tomas alive. But instead, it's to continue Leslie intervening in Eva's life and trying to make Eva's life like hers, even though it didn't work out for Leslie. So it's just another annoying direction. Later in the episode, Tomas and Hayley talk things out from back when Hayley was trying to set up Bill to see her and Tomas together. She tried to apologize. Tomas is upset that Hayley was minimizing what she did. I don't know where they're going with the Tomas and Hayley stuff, but it better not be a third love interest for Tomas. This cardboard cutout Tomas, this AI voice Tomas, this furniture in the house that doesn't move and has no emotion Tomas does not deserve a third love interest. So if they're going to go there, I think it's another failure in the writing. Like, read the room. Are they watching the show as they're being produced? Are they watching the shows after they're being produced? Or are they just writing without watching the show? Because if they're watching the show, they would see the total lack of chemistry with Tomas with every single woman they put him with. So hopefully they don't go there. There was a time I was hoping they would go there, but since Tomas has now slept with both Eva and Kat, why go there? Why try and saddle another woman character on this show with the albatross that is the Tomas character? And that's about it for today's episode. It was one of the better episodes, probably the best episode of the week, because yesterday I only liked the Dani and Bill and Hayley and Andre stuff. Today that was still the best thing. But I did enjoy the Jan and Leslie scenes. I like that Jan actually kind of stood up to Leslie a little bit, but also Leslie got vulnerable with her, so that was good to see. So a solid episode today. Finally, I'm glad we're ending the week on a good note. I needed that from this show. The preview next week, I don't know if I love it. I probably like the Hayley, Bill, Dani side of it. Hayley looks like she might see Bill and Dani kissing again. I don't know how that bodes for Andre, but I think Hayley's going to continue to spiral now. Hayley might even try to kill Bill and get his will money or something. I don't think the show's going to kill off Bill, but I can see Hayley going there. I don't know if they built up to that good enough, But they've showed Hayley continue to scheme to try and keep Bill. She needs a way better scheme to try and keep Bill this time, or she needs to go off the deep end. Something more. Maybe we could finally connect Hayley's connection to Randy. That would be nice. Something in the preview I'm not looking forward to, and I groaned as soon as I saw them. Grandpa Gangster and Vanessa. I don't know what bullshit they have planned for them next week, but I can say without a shadow of a doubt, that story actually went from one of my favorite stories back in, I would say, August, September, the Doug, Randy, Joey stuff. But since Doug's been killed, the direction it's heading, where I find Vanessa and Grandpa Gangster so unlikable, it really makes it hard for me to care about their scenes coming up in any future, let alone next week.